Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima, or simply R9, is often regarded as one of the most talented and enigmatic footballers to have ever played the game. His career was filled with spectacular highs and frustrating lows, driven largely by his unpredictable injuries and occasional off-field distractions. But what if R9's career had been free from injury setbacks and maintained full focus? What if his journey had been uninterrupted by those obstacles? Let's explore how his career might have unfolded in this ideal scenario where R9 reached his full potential, uninterrupted. Early promise, a meteoric rise. R9's journey began in Brazil, where his extraordinary talent quickly caught the attention of the footballing world. At Cruzeiro, he showed flashes of brilliance that hinted at his immense potential. His move to PSV Eindhoven, at just 17 years old, marked the beginning of his meteoric rise in European football. Scoring 54 goals in 57 appearances in his first season, R9 made an immediate impact, and it was clear that the world was watching a future superstar in the making. I knew I had something special when I arrived at PSV. The fans embraced me, and I just focused on doing what I love, scoring goals, he shared. With the right focus and no injuries, I could see myself dominating Europe for years. I wasn't just here to play, I was here to win. Had R9 remained injury-free during his early years, his rise would have been even more explosive. His next move to Barcelona after only a year at PSV would have been another step in his evolution as a footballing force. Playing alongside legendary players like Johan Cruyff, Josep Guardiola, and Hristo Stoichkov, R9's potential was limitless. With a more consistent approach and full fitness, Barcelona would have been even more successful in the late 90s and early 2000s, with R9 playing a key role in their domestic and European triumphs. I arrived at Barcelona with one thing in mind: to be the best. The team was full of incredible players, and I just wanted to contribute to our success, he reflected. If I had stayed injury-free, I could have helped take Barcelona to a level even higher than they were. We had the talent to rule Europe. World Cup glory and unmatched brilliance. R9's 1998 FIFA World Cup campaign was a showcase of his immense talent, even though Brazil fell short in the final, losing to France. Despite his own brilliant performances, R9's physical struggles leading up to the final hindered his ability to be at his very best. If he had been injury-free, he could have been the pivotal player in Brazil's quest for another World Cup trophy. I remember 1998 as a bittersweet memory. I felt I could have done more, but injury slowed me down, R9 admitted. If I had been fully fit, I believe we could have taken home the trophy, and I could have sealed my place as the world's best player. By 2002, R9 experienced the ultimate redemption when he played a starring role in Brazil's World Cup victory. However, imagine a version of this tournament where R9 wasn't recovering from major injuries. A fully fit R9 would have been even more dominant, helping Brazil to a more convincing and impressive victory. If I had stayed healthy throughout those years, the 2002 World Cup would have been the pinnacle of my career, with more goals, more assists, and an even greater impact, he said. That World Cup was special, but with full health, I could have written an even better story. In this alternate reality, R9 would have maintained his elite level of play, earning multiple Ballon d'Or awards and continuing to build his legacy. His skill, vision, and leadership would have carried Brazil to further success in international football. Dominating Europe, a legacy of unmatched success. R9's time at Inter Milan was unfortunately marred by injuries, preventing him from reaching the heights that his talent demanded. Yet, in this ideal version, with no injuries to slow him down, his years at Inter would have been legendary. The partnership with Roberto Baggio, Christian Vieri, and Francesco Toldo would have been a dream team, and R9 would have taken the club to greater heights both in Serie A and in Europe. Inter was a special time for me, but I feel we could have won so much more. I was at my best when I could just focus on playing and let my body do the work, R9 explained. Had I been healthy, I would have loved to win the Champions League with Inter. We had all the ingredients to be great. Similarly, his tenure at Real Madrid could have been even more successful. While R9 won several La Liga titles and other trophies, His performances were often inconsistent due to the constant struggles with his knees. A fully fit R9, however, would have formed an even deadlier partnership with Zinedine Zidane, Roberto Carlos, and Raul, ensuring Madrid's dominance in Spain and Europe. The club would have surely won more Champions League titles during the early 2000s, and R9's ability to lead the team would have solidified his reputation as one of the best. Real Madrid was an unforgettable chapter of my career. If I had stayed fully fit, I think we could have achieved even more, especially in the Champions League, R9 stated. With players like Zidane and Raul beside me, we could have been unstoppable. The later years, a career without limits. As R9 entered his 30s, his ability to adapt to the demands of top-level football would have been crucial. Even in his later years, R9's technical ability and football intelligence would have kept him performing at a high level. He could have extended his playing career well into his late 30s, similar to other legends like Francesco Totti and Ryan Giggs. Whether playing in the Premier League, returning to Brazil, or staying in Europe, R9's class and composure would have made him an invaluable asset to any team. Football is something that stays with you forever. With the right mindset and health, I would have loved to continue playing and contributing for as long as possible, he said. When you're as passionate as I am about the game, age is just a number. By avoiding injuries, R9 could have easily continued to play for top clubs and possibly even extended his international career. Imagine a scenario where R9 still played in the 2010 World Cup, bringing his wealth of experience and skill to guide Brazil one last time. His presence in that tournament would have been a massive boost to Brazil's attack, possibly helping them claim yet another World Cup title. Conclusion: a perfect legacy. In an alternate reality, where R9's career remained injury-free and without distractions, his legacy would have been cemented as one of the greatest of all time. He would have been in the conversation for the greatest player ever, alongside Pele, Diego Maradona, and Lionel Messi. R9's career would have been defined not just by his exceptional talent, but by his ability to maintain that level of brilliance for an extended period. I've been blessed to have such a successful career, despite the challenges, he reflected. But in a perfect world, I believe I could have achieved even more. I could have won more trophies, more Ballon d'Ors, and extended my career even further. That's the beauty of football. The story is never finished, and the dream of greatness is always alive. With no injuries to hold him back, R9 would have reached the pinnacle of world football, continuing to inspire future generations. His name would have been etched in the annals of football history as not just a talent, but as a player who defined an era. A clean career would have meant a legacy of unmatched brilliance, and R9 would have truly been the king of the game. If Ronaldo Nazario had never suffered any injuries, there's a strong case that he could have been the greatest footballer of all time. His blend of speed, skill, strength, and finishing was almost supernatural. He could glide past defenders like they weren't even there and score from impossible angles. At just 21, he had already won a Ballon d'Or and was dominating European football. If his body had held up, he likely would have shattered goal records, won more Champions Leagues, and possibly even another World Cup. Players like Pele, Maradona, Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo have legendary careers, but a fully fit R9 might have surpassed them all with his raw talent and dominance. What do you think? Would Ronaldo have been the undisputed GOAT if injuries hadn't held him back? Let me know in the comments.